For Daily Ask Reddit. Hiring managers of Reddit, what are some telltale sign that your candidate is making things up? A candidate once said something like proficient in both Mac and HP. Sounds like a Mac user who doesn't understand PCs. Well, I was testing a potential welder once. He showed up in shorts, muscle shirt, and flip-flops to do a weld test and interview. I turned him away citing safety concerns about his wardrobe and never rescheduled. Figured he was too dumb for me to deal with. Funny you should mention this. There was a commercial for Magic Mike XXL where Channing Tatum was welding and then does a sexy dance. My fiance the welder scoffs and says, oh come on. Who welds in shorts and a tank top? We had an interview candidate who said their Excel skills were 9.5 out of 10 and they knew how to do pivot tables. They literally started crying when we brought out a laptop for the skills test and asked them to make a pivot table out of sample data. Oh geez. Don't cry. Okay, you have the job. Okay. Will you stop crying now? It was awkward. We have to ask all the same questions to each applicant, so we had to continue for another 5 minutes or so after they started sobbing. The skills test at the interview seems to destroy certain people. We had a 26-year-old's mother call us to complain about ambushing her son by asking him to do some stuff with Microsoft Access during an interview for a database analyst position. Having interviewed quite a few candidates, I've come to accept that many people will try to BS their way through something they have a dabbling knowledge in. That's alright. When I ask a direct question and the person is trying to work it out on the fly to come up with an answer that sounds correct, I get some great insight into their troubleshooting abilities. This only works if you know what it is you are talking about though. If you've never heard of Ansible, please don't try to tell me what a great database application it is. At the end of the day though, my favorite answer and the one most likely to get a candidate with limited experience onto the next phase is to just admit you don't know, but that you'll look it up / Google it and be able to answer the question next time. Most recent candidate we hired did just that. I passed the question I'd asked them on to the next person to have time to do the interview and they were asked again. They must have had the right answer this time because I'm training them now. One woman I interviewed literally took a pause and read the answers to the questions straight off of Google online Skype interview. I noticed it because there were really weird pauses and googled it myself and literally followed along like subtitles. Wow. Did you call her out on it? No, I'm pretty sure we continued with the interview. Was about halfway through when I decided to investigate and threw it out after. It was just embarrassing. This woman was like easily 20 years older than me and interviewing for a professional position and obviously knew nothing about her field or didn't know how to convey it. When you're doing a video interview and you can watch them try to Google stuff in the reflection of their glasses. Small props for being clever though. He was paraphrasing the question back to me as a way to use the voice assistant. Maybe more of an answer about general competence, but in my observation the smartest people are comfortable saying they don't know something or acknowledge limitations in their knowledge or experience. Naive or bluffing candidates want to project an air of knowing everything, which is implausible. Another signal is how eager they are to go into depth. I interview programmers and technical staff, so I like to ask them about the project they are most proud of. I listen carefully and ask a few questions about how they worked through some thorny tech aspects. I understand that software is a team effort, but the legitimate contributors are eager to talk about technical details of what they built. The ones who just attended meetings and rarely contributed much struggle to say anything of substance. That is quite telling in my view. I speak enough gringo Spanish to get by, and back in the day, when I was a hiring manager, if anybody put fluent in Spanish on their resume, I'd walk into the interview room and introduce myself and start the interview in Spanish. The looks of panic from the kids who'd taken, like, 3 years of high school Spanish before college were priceless. Someone did that to me once but in German. I minored in German in college and the person interviewing me spoke less German than I did, thankfully. I would never lie about language fluency on a resume. It is way too easy to disprove if just one person knows a little of it.